And welcome to the College of Baruch here on 25th and Lexington in the heart of Manhattan. We are in the Arc Arena for Bearcat Appreciation Day between the York College Cardinals and your Baruch College Bearcats alongside John Nevis. I'm David Just, and we are moments away from our pregame festivities as Baruch trying to get out of a little bit of a rut they've been in. 3-game losing streak against Brooklyn, John Jay, and Hunter as they host the 0-16 York College Cardinals. Tonight we'll be honoring 4 seniors in Isabella Kostyal-Larrier, D'Andre McRae, and Precious Mitchell alongside Brianna Lopez as well. So I will send it over now to Marty Collins for your pregame festivities, your national anthem, and the starting lineup.
But she's doing a lot better now from the free throw line. I can tell you that. Bree on the floor, 100 miles an hour. Aggressive. I won't talk about that. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Like, go along. Be light. Be right. Be aggressive. Go out. Come on. Working, school, coming from where you're coming from to come here. Again, no. But you're here, right? In moments like this, right? This is why you can play, right? I told you this, right? And I really do appreciate everything that you've done. As a player, that's great. But as a person, you know, listen, you have gone at it, but that's okay. That's important. You know, it's always not going to be like, you know, right? It's not going to be that way. That's all right. I really appreciate that. I respect that too. So, like I said, you're well respected by your teammates. I love you. Coach and staff, I love having you here. I appreciate everything you've done. Thank you. reached out to me and he was like, I'm from Buffalo. I'm like, Buffalo? Sure you want to tell me you are? And I remember when I met you, right, the city, and you were, oh, I like this guy. I love the city, right? Versus another one, sacrifice. I mean, I don't know how many would travel and to the big city from Buffalo to come to school and play ball. And energy level is incredible. Let me tell you something. Don't need any food from the restaurant. Let me tell you something. I have never seen a human eat as much as he does, but I don't know where it goes, but my God. Tournament, when we went away, let's go there. Let's go there. I like it. I know you are. I don't even need anything near her. She is a factory. Incredible athlete, great defender, right? Sometimes they'll tell you, you get your own way, right? We're moving forward in life, right? Don't get in your own way. Move everybody else out the way. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Again, very proud that she's gotten to this point. I love you. Coach staff loves you, respect you. Again, you're all great kids, honestly. I can't say anything bad. You really are. But like I said, moving forward for you, you gotta go take. Just like you take that move. Give me that. That's what you gotta do. You gotta go and grab and take it, right? But thank you so much. I appreciate everything you've done. Thank you.
Second one around the corner for Justin Children, Brianna Lopez, D'Andre McRae, Isabella Kostyal-Larrier. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask everyone to please rise to the table to remove their caps. Join our student athletes, coaches, and officials as we honor Americans and our freedom, and those who protect their home and abroad with the playing of our national anthem. Here on tonight's starting lineup, first for York. 5'9", sophomore forward from East Elmhurst, number 5, Baruch. A 5'9", junior forward from Brooklyn, number 10, Isabella Kostyal-Larrier. 5'7", senior forward from St. Albans, number 11, Lillianna Morales. A 5'9", junior forward from Brooklyn, number 21, Brianna Lopez. And a 5'11", junior center from Valley Street, number 35, the assistant coaches are Luke and Lacey Young, team manager Isabella Kostyal-Larrier.
So it's McRae on the tip, one of the seniors we just had the opportunity of recognizing here before the game, and Baruch will start it off here in the front court. Kostyal-Larrier, far side three, bit short. Mitchell on the rebound. All four seniors starting in tonight's ball game with Lopez and Mitchell inserted into the starting lineup. However, Earth gets the steal going the other way and able to lay it in coast to coast.
Hello, David. Good to be here. We're here for another women's basketball.
Over to Lopez here on the near side. Bounce pass into the interior, looking for options. McRae is quickly doubled, and York come out of the pack with it.
Yeah, Bearcats with a bit of a slow start. We had a nice senior day. Focus was on that. Now we just got to come back and play ball for the next 40 minutes.
A three there by Aiken from York is off the mark. Now Kostyal-Larrier, mid-range jumper. Baruch won the reverse fixture by 12 on the campus of York College. Now Earth into the lane. She's fouled on the way through, and we'll see our first free throws tonight.
Brianna Lopez, that's first. 2 shots for number 10.
York playing with tight margins today. Only with 6 players on their active roster for tonight's game, as Earth is off on the first. Oh, 0 for 2 from the line. So Baruch trail by 2, a little bit more than a minute and a half gone. Idir right into the lane, looking for options, trying to force it to Kostyal-Larrier. Probably have Mitchell on the interior, and Earth the other way, looking for options ahead of the pack. Over to Aiken. Aiken's mid-range jumper is good.
Yeah, I think the only story here is that York has just been a little bit more aggressive. They've got a few steals and they've hit a few baskets, but Bearcats will get back back into it, but certainly got to get the engines running.
York setting up in the 2-3 zone. Over to Idir on the near side. Her shot from 3, no good. Might have been just inside 2, actually. They're going to say it's going to stay right there with the Bearcats.
Well, I would say before the night is over, Lola's going to knock down a few of those, if history is any indicator.
Not who you want to leave open from a York College perspective. Brianna Lopez into the lane, kicks it. Yep, it's going to go last off the Bearcats, and it'll go back to York College. It's already a couple of turnovers here in the early going from Baruch. 4th turnover already in the first 2.5 minutes.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach K calls a timeout to settle the girls. As you know, we have 4 seniors on the court. This is their last regular season on the game. We just got to get into the game. Plenty of time.
Aiken into the lane. Her floater off back iron, no good. Lopez on the rebound. Idir going to push the tempo. Has Kostyal-Larrier on the other side. She'll step back, looking for a cutter. Finds Lopez in the paint. She picks up her dribble. Hand off to Kostyal-Larrier. And she's able to
Isabella's been one of the best players on the stage. She comes from a Division II background. She played basketball in high school with York College. So Arlington High School has been a great place for Arlington basketball players. Short jumper by York.
Seeing the big Adams really stretch the floor there at 5'11", giving the Bearcats some trouble here in the early portion of the ballgame. Now it's over to McRae on the near side. She picks up her dribble, looking for options. Kostyal-Larrier inside out. Idir once again open, a little bit too strong on that. However, McRae on the offensive glass.
Scoring the first 2 baskets of this game. D'Andre has been a double-double machine in the career for the Bearcats. She's not only scored, but she's also grabbed a lot of rebounds. She's going to be sorely missed in the paint.
I'm curious how next year's going to look. Definitely a recruiting effort for the front court. Losing 3 forwards in this senior class.
Well, there's always turnover with the fact that the Bearcats now in possession.
And Idir going coast to coast, can't finish. And it's Aiken now the other way. Mid-range jumper, nope. So it's going to go back to the Bearcats.
Yeah, you know, these days in college basketball, as we know, there's so much on the division. There's a lot of turnover. You know, I look at somebody like you look at them, it's like a brand new team playing. But here it's a little bit different. There are a lot more graduate students playing than I can ever recall pre-COVID.
So Idir straight on 3, and she rattles that one home.
We can forget the performance in the 4th quarter against John Deere with 22 points for the big win at home after we were trailing by 13 points. So when she's on fire, she can really knock it down.
Coach Howell definitely needs to strategize around that. Not going to want to leave her open too much in this ball game. As Morales grabs a rebound, see what the wish is for it, and it's out of bounds, and it's going to go back to York.
Basketball is a very interesting game because, you know, you have 4 breaks, 4 quarters, and we've seen this year where there's sort of level of play in the first half, and then the team will come out in the second half totally inspired. The question is how's that going to work out tonight? Of course, only 3 games remaining in the regular season, David. You know, after tonight, they go up Saturday to the Bronx, big doubleheader. Bearcats playing Lehman, and York picks up 2 more. And then the men lost tonight and began Colorado and Baruch. As coach of York has gotten the 2nd place right now. And then obviously the men are going to be playing Lehman, which right now has got like a 3-point lead in the standings. Sherman, as usual, doing a solid job up in the Bronx.
They've been competitive for the last few years here in the Cuniac. Baruch still fighting for playoff position for both the women and the men. Nice find there by Morales, and McRae unable to finish underneath.
Yeah, she came flying in the other direction. I don't think she knew how fast she was going.
And that's going to
And that's going to be McRae's first foul as she comes to the bench in the see Lola Idir come into the game for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Lola Idir has been a fantastic rookie for the Bearcats. I think that we're really excited to have her for the future. She went down to school down the street from here, so she's always been a Bearcat in some fashion geographically. She's been a good player, and I think we're going to see a lot of great things from her. And then after Saturday, we end the season, next Tuesday, the regular season, playing CCLI, and then we'll see where the standings lay regarding the playoffs.
Now, Kostyal-Larrier leaks out ahead of the pack, gets the lead back. Wants to talk things over with 4:20 remaining. Take a 1-point lead into the timeout. You're watching Baruch basketball games with Bearcats broadcasting.
For the latest information on Baruch College Athletics, follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram using the handle @BaruchAthletics.
So both teams break the huddle. Baruch setting up in a full court press. These are looking to force some turnovers here from York, and just like that, they turn it over. However, it was Hooks who was able to corral it, and now Earth into the front court. Almost loses it there with Lewis all over her. Nice behind the back dribble from Earth. Wild looking shot though. Rebounded there by Foy. She gets fouled on the way up, and will go to line to shoot two.
Foul is called on number 0, Beluga. First down, Beluga. And Beluga, team foul. Two shots for Samara.
And Foy off on the first. And 0 of 2 from that trip to the stripe. 0 for 4 so far here in the early going is York College at the free throw line. So something to be mindful of if you see the Bearcats start fouling just a bit more.
Yeah, the Bearcats need to hit their shots. They got to make their layups, and they can't allow baskets like that one.
That was just too easy as Aiken goes coast to coast. Nice find from DeLuca to Morales, inside out to Kostyal-Larrier, who knocks it down from the free throw line.
Yeah, Isabella is, in my opinion, a conference player. Whether she's first or second team, the coaches will decide. But like Mike said in the speech for Senior Day, she's taken on a lot coming to school here in New York. A lot of responsibility. And there you go, nice basket.
Coach Howell wants to talk things over quickly. Quick little 6-2 run. Put the Bearcats back in the lead by 3, 13-10.
Yeah, the biggest thing about the Bearcats, and I think when we look at it, we look at that game against John Jay in the fourth quarter when we overcame a 13-point deficit to win by 9. You got to make your layups. Yeah, that's the biggest thing I've noticed between the high levels of Division I or Division III is, Division I is obviously those players are bigger, faster, but they make their layups. And here, sometimes missed layups, you're missing 8 or 10 points. I mean, it's amazing how many times you see missed layups, and you got to hit them. And look, we're 3 games from toward the end of the season. This is the most important time of the year. This is when you got to be hitting your stride, when you got to be peaking. Because pretty soon, 1 or 2 bad losses and we're done.
Dangerous pass there, and Idir picks it off. Goes strong into the paint, can't finish. And long rebound out here to Clouden, who just checked into the game. Now Aiken, step back jumper, wild looking shot, no good. Thornton Lewis comes away with the rebound, and Clouden picks her up over to Idir into the front court. Cross-court pass, now Kostyal-Larrier pulls the 3.
Nice!
Down it, they're going to say that was a 2. Correction, they're going to call it a 3 on the floor. 16-10 Baruch lead with Kostyal-Larrier at the line for a chance at a 4-point play.
Yeah, she's been on fire. We should do more senior days if she's, we've always got to stick with what works. If what works is somebody doing this, let's do senior day every day. Let's find some reason to do a ceremony before every game. No, this has been great. And look, Division II players are considered to be a little bit better than Division III, and I think she's showing that right now, that she's had that talent.
Earth pulls the shot, knocks it down from it. That's going to be a deep 2. Awkward shooting motion there, John, but effective nonetheless.
Doesn't matter. As long as it goes through the net, that's all that matters.
And a turnover here from the Bearcats. It's going to be their 7th here in the first quarter. It's kind of been an issue all year, John, just turnovers from Coach Catrozo's teams has to be a tad bit frustrating. Kind of puts you behind the 8 ball.
Well, you know, we watch Mike. I mean, he really, you know, he's emotional on the sideline because he knows these girls could be better. There's another big basket coming up.
And Kostyal-Larrier goes close and able to finish.
She's got 10 now?
12 of the first 19 here on senior day.
Well, one of the frustrating things for a coach is, you know your team could play better because you see them all the time at practice. You've seen them play in high school or if they're a transfer student, whatever it may be. And you know that there's a lot better than what you see, but sometimes players, I don't know what it is. They come up for some games and they're awesome, and then some games they're, you know, very low. But tonight, she's having a great game. Let me tell you, York has over the years, especially in the playoffs, given us a really hard time. You know, I could think of 2 times when they came. They had a fantastic center, Nina Skimstra right now, who in my opinion was one of the better centers I've seen in Cuban history, and she did some real serious damage to us like 2-3 years ago.
Getting down here to Ford driving baseline, working against Thornton Lewis. Here comes the trap. And they're going to call a jump ball, and it'll stay right there with York.
Bearcats are up by 7 with 1:42. The way they started the game and the way they poised to finish the first quarter is a good sign. But they need to stop here and keep building on it.
Kick ball there from Morales, so they'll do it again right under the basket. Aiken to inbound, looking for options. Gives it over to Adams. Adams turns on McRae. Trying to go to work in the paint. Inside out to Foy on the far side. Foy drives baseline. They're going to call a block there. Let's see who that's on. It's either going to be on Idir or Morales. It's going to be on Idir. That's a 14 foul here for the Bearcats. So the Cardinals 1 foul away from being in the bonus. Inside out, Foy going to pull the long 2 shot, no good. And it goes out of bounds. They're going to say it was last off the Bearcats. So York again getting an extra possession. Hooks into Adams. Kostyal-Larrier comes away with the loose ball, going coast to coast again, driving right into the line, she's fouled, and that'll send her to the line to shoot 2. She's just been very aggressive here, John, in the first quarter.
Yeah, she's headed for a very big career night. We'll have to check out her numbers. I think that's sometimes what we've also been missing this year. We've got 5 players on the court, but you always need that one player to drive it. That's what we have with Brianna Castillo. We're glad to say he's here tonight with Alyssa Leon. It was good to see them coming back and watching their team play. But we need a go-to player and a consistent go-to player that's going to score baskets, 3/4 of the time when they have the ball. That's what we need.
And Foy's shot off the glass. Yeah, we were saying that last game versus Hunter when Alexa Charles was in the building, and it just gives you that almost that insurance blanket having the best player on the floor.
Well, Alexa, obviously, for everything she's done at Hunter and Cuniac, she's been a player that they could count on, and she's delivered time and time again. I always say, if you have a team when you have that type of player and you add 2 players that can give you double-figure scoring and you add a great rebounder, in this league, you're going to win a lot of games. You're going to win a lot of games. Brooklyn has them. They got a lot of good rebounders. They got people that can pass.
Steal there from Kostyal-Larrier. She's able to finish with the reverse. She's got 16 points here in the first quarter, and the Bearcats force another turnover.
I say we got to do more senior day ceremonies. I know ours probably went a little bit long. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is the scoreboard and not people's time, unfortunately.
Kostyal-Larrier now going to step into a 3. Why not? She's got 19, here in the first half.
You know what's great? She's doing it in front of her family. Her mom is here, grandma, her brother. That's a lot of fun when you get the chance to see that.
Maybe it's not the senior ceremony then. Maybe we just have to get the family in the house as Lopez lays it in on the other end. Once again, York have no answer right now for the full court press of the Bearcats. Once again, Baruch forcing a turnover as it's Lopez right into the lane, gives it over to Morales. Knocks down the jumper right as the buzzer goes. And in a nice fashion there to end the first. Baruch really going on a strong run to extend the lead 30-12. You're watching the Bearcat Appreciation Day, on YouTube channel Baruch Bearcats Broadcasting. So it'll be Baruch to start with the ball here in the second quarter. DeLuca over to Kostyal-Larrier. She'll pull again. Why not? The hot hand shot no good. Ball batted around. Kostyal-Larrier chases down that rebound on the right wing. 3 there by DeLuca. No good, however. Lopez on the far side. Baruch on that 13-0 run in the last 2.5 minutes. Kostyal-Larrier from the mid-range. Just a bit too strong, but however, DeLuca keeps it alive. Lopez 3 off left iron. No good. And it's going to be a jump ball, so it'll go back to York.
Well, let me mention one thing. We scored 30 points in the first period. This year we've struggled, but when they are making their layups, when people are hitting their shots, and we have a hot hand like Isabella's doing tonight scoring, that's really what you need. And it's the same way we did it when we beat John Jay and some of our other wins.
Earth right into the lane, shot no good. Offensive foul as McRae takes the charge.
Yeah, that was a good job by her to set herself up. Let me tell you, it's not easy to see anybody coming at you, and you're scared that you're going to maybe get hurt, but credit to her that she protected herself, drew the foul, and it's all good.
So DeLuca now inside to McRae. A little two-man game back to DeLuca. Shot no good. Morales on the offensive glass. Kostyal-Larrier over to DeLuca. Mid-range jumper also no good, and Adams on the rebound here for York.
Yeah, I mean, we could have had 2 baskets right there. 2 baskets in those last 2 possessions.
Floater there. Way off, and now pass ahead up to Kostyal-Larrier. She's got 21. 2 points off her season high of 23.
She's following her former teammate, Mia Castillo, tonight. She's putting on a Mia performance.
Baruch on a 15-0 run in the last 3:57 and a 30-6 run in the last 8:22.
Well, like I said, you make your layups, you play good defense, you force turnovers. York, obviously, they're having a very hard time keeping possession.
13 turnovers already for the York Cardinals. And make that 14 as Morales gives it off to Kostyal-Larrier. He knocks it down and hits the deck.
So she tied her, right? Season high, 23. And that's definitely a career high. I looked up the numbers at Bermuda. I think she had one time had like 12 or 14.
That's going to be a 10-second violation here against the Cardinals. So it's going to go back to the Bearcats.
Yeah, I think if I'm York, I'd call a timeout and I'd try to light a fire under their players because they seem very relaxed out there. You know, there's some intensity missing. Bearcats started the game like that. Maybe because of senior day and everything, they managed to.
Yeah, I mean, a season like this has to be just a bit demoralizing for York, so it potentially could just feel like a little bit more of the same.
Well, like I said, there were 2 years in like the last 4 to 5 years where we played York in the playoffs. I think one of those years they beat us. So, you know, it's good to have the lead because if York, turns it on and starts to go back, it's not too much. But, at the end of the year now, like I said, you have to be finishing your shots. You have to be playing your best defense. And you have to be showing the coaches that you deserve to play the minutes.
DeLuca up ahead to Lopez. He lays it in and one. Goes through the contact and able to finish off the glass.
It's official. From now on, we will be doing some type of pregame ceremony. I'm going to tell Coach K that. I was like, Mike, we're gonna find something. Player of the week ceremony. Lola Idir was the CUNYAC Scholar Athlete of the Month a short time ago. We'll do a little ceremony for that. Hey, whatever works.
Make up awards at some point.
Whatever. We'll even do an award, the David Just Award. How about that? Or the Joe Stolzer Award. Hello to Joe, I know is watching us from Florida.
As Lopez rattles that one home. And Aikens fouled there. They're going to call Lopez on that. Just a little aggressive. First foul here in the ballgame. So it'll be Aiken to inbound as DeLuca comes to the bench. Mitchell back into the ballgame.
Bearcats need to keep their intensity. They need to make their shots. And if they do, they'll take care of business.
Now Foy on the far side. Entry pass. Shot off back iron. No good. Aiken can't hit as well. Looking for a whistle, nothing came, and now Idir over to Lopez. Up ahead to McRae. McRae thought she was having closer to the basket. Able to finish off the ball.
Big family contingent here tonight from McRae. I think we need to find some more baskets for her. Let's keep her family. They got a nice group there. They even got photos and everything. They got what they call those fat heads? What do you call those things? The photo.
Oh, yeah. Might be. No, those are like the. Yeah, I think so.
By the way, while I'm here, I want to give a shout out to our neighbor not too far away from here, NYU, the Violets, setting the NCAA Division III win streak record. I think they're up to 83. They haven't lost in 3 years.
Wow.
And they're the clear favorites to win this year.
How could they not be with a record like that? As Lopez now the other way gives it up to McRae inside. That should get some fans off their feet. As McRae lays it in with the left hand. Coach Howell wants to talk things over as his team trails by 29, 6-17. John, ever since we've seen Baruch really switch to that full court press, able to create some turnovers and get some easy baskets.
I've seen a lot of basketball in this gym. A lot of Bearcats basketball, volleyball, and to me, I'm not saying it because I'm supposed to be doing a play-by-play here. It really is the truth. You make your layups, you get your steals. Those things are worth anywhere from 10 to 20 points a game, and usually they make the difference. In the old days when we had our great 7 to 8 year stretch, it was the defense. We scored a lot of points, but it was really the defense. Teams just had a very hard time trying to score against us because they couldn't make it through half court. And I think that we got to get back to that. Tonight they're doing that. They're playing good defense. One might say, well, York's been struggling all year. Well, it's true, but at the end of the day, you still got to go out there and do it. And tonight they're doing it. Like I said, it ain't going to get easy. Saturday, we got to go to the Bronx and play Lehman. Lehman, I think we were leading Lehman in halftime, and then Lehman came out and just exploded in the second half. And Lehman's going to be motivated for us on Saturday. Baruch, let me tell you, there are those that don't understand this. There are times when Baruch will go to some gyms and we're the game on their calendar. I've seen this time and time again when teams get ready. I've seen teams get here to our gym at like 2:30 in the afternoon for a 5:30 game, where they're ready to go and start playing us. But we have a young player list. We got a great future with Lola Idir, Madison, Lola DeLuca, Lillianna Morales. I'm sure there's more to come next year in the pipeline.
Yeah, I think there'll just have to be some tweaks, especially in that front court. It seems like we lost key backcourt contributors last year, and now this year losing mostly front court contributors as Mitchell lays it in.
Yeah, that was a nice bat. It's good to see her. She's a senior. It's her night tonight. So that was a lot of fun to see. Her family's probably watching from Buffalo.
Steal there from Mitchell. Has Lopez cutting. Good hustle down the floor. And Lopez lays it in.
Senior to senior. Not bad.
3 of the 4 seniors on the floor. We had McRae. As now Earth gets it stripped from McRae. Ball's loose on the floor. McRae hits the deck. Earth takes it back over to Foy. Mid-range jumper from Foy. Too strong. No good. Ball batted out. Earth hits the floor. Let's see what they call. Yep, they're going to call it on the travel. So it'll go back to Baruch.
Yeah, and when I talk about how we can be explosive, we were losing at Megger 28-7 in the first quarter. And we managed to win, I think, by double digits. So there is the potential of this team to score a lot of points in a short amount of time.
Idir steps into a 3 and knocks that one down from the far side. Whatever Coach Howell probably discussed with his team is not what he was expecting coming out of the timeout. Baruch lead by 36, 48-12.
Yeah, this is probably the best half that I've seen so far from the Bearcats.
3 there, off front iron from Hooks, no good.
York hasn't taken any bad shots. It's not like they're hitting the backboard or air balls. I mean, they're actually taking good shots. They're just not dropping for them.
Their problem is the 20 turnovers, which has led to Baruch's 15 additional shots. As Storm Lewis knocks down a 3 from the near side. So Aiken inside out to Foy. Pull up from the free throw line is good. Just like that after a 34-0 run.
Well, I can tell you that. We didn't have that 8-9 years ago.
51-12 in the last 15-30 run. Granted, takes up most of the game, but it's important to remember that York was up 6-2 in this ballgame.
Yeah. Well, this is a night where everyone's going to play. You just got to keep it going, and they'll be fun. But I think this team, they got to feel good about themselves. They got to be prepared for these last few games. And they may need to be prepared to hit the road and play.
Earth on the rebound, can't finish off back iron. Earth, Adams, and Adams the one that gets fouled. And Adams can't get the second one to go. It's 51-15.
By the way, we understand there might have been some audio difficulties. I like to think we're probably being heard better now.
Inside out to Lynn, who just checked into the game. John, to your point, might see some extended minutes from some depth players here, especially some of the younger players on this team as freshman Lynn into the ball game.
Well, what's important about that in terms of giving some of the bench players some minutes is, once you start headed toward the end of the season, you start going into the playoffs. Sometimes for a foul, someone who fouls out or whatever reason, there might be players who may not be available, and you need someone else to step in. And you can't have players stepping in if they've only played like 12 minutes all season. You need those minutes. So that could come in handy tonight if Mike decides to go that route.
And these are also players that are going to want to get some minutes next season as well when we see some turnover here on the squad as Lopez outside to Thornton Lewis. Deep two. Shot no good. Mitchell on the rebound. She goes up strong. Her shot blocked underneath. And it's last off of Hooks.
I want to say hello to George Stasko, who might be listening to us.
Now Earth going coast to coast and lays it in off the glass.
Yeah, there's not a lot of wild shots by York. They're making good shots. They're just not dropping. But that time she did it, she stood her ground, made the layup, and almost could have drawn a foul.
Foul that is going to be on Earth. That's going to be her third. Inside out. Lynn over to Idir. She'll step into another three. Oh, off left iron. No good. Rebounded there between Thornton Lewis and Akins. Akins comes away with it quickly into the front court. Right into the lane. Floater with the, scoop layup. Shot no good. And the jump ball there, and it'll go back to the Bearcats. Good defense. So now Lopez over to Thornton Lewis. Cross-court pass to Idir. And a nice block there by Foy underneath it. She comes across with the right hand, and it'll stay there with the Bearcats. A little under 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Baruch leads 51-17. So we are moments away from tip-off in the second half. If you're just joining us, it's been all Baruch in the first half. They lead by 35, but went on a 47-11 run in the middle section, end of the first throughout the second. However, got a little cold towards the end of the first, only 1 of 11 from their last 11. And York really struggling on the offensive end. When Baruch went to that press in the first half, York had no answer, and that really sparked the run that the Bearcats had. It is senior night, Bearcat Appreciation Night here at the York Arena for Precious Mitchell, Kostyal-Larrier, McRae, Lopez, and they are joined by Lola Idir on the floor to start the second half. We've seen all four seniors start tonight. Kostyal-Larrier tied her season high 23 points in the first half in 12 minutes of work, 9 of 14 from the field. It'll be the York College Cardinals to start it here in the second half, and Aiken to inbound. Back to Hooks. Adams inside out, back inside to Adams. Adams turns, looking for options, inside out, now over to Hooks. Floater in the lane, shot no good. Idir on the rebound. Up ahead to Kostyal-Larrier, lays it in off the glass. And just like that, 25th point, new season high. Crossover move there by Aiken, creates some space. Around and gets that one to go. Nice move there from Aiken. So Lopez has it on the Bearcats symbol, comes to the near side, gives it over to Idir in the corner. Trying to find the entry pass to Mitchell. Foy on the block, however, inside to Kostyal-Larrier, who lays it in with the left hand. High arcing three from Aiken, who knocks it down. Definitely a bit of a different feel here in the second half. A little quiet coming out of the break. Here the York men's team making some noise, chanting defense here in the stands as Kostyal-Larrier gives it over to Idir. Earth out on her. Trying to find the cutter Lopez, just a little bit behind. However, McRae able to corral the loose ball. Gives it inside to Lopez. That ball's taken away. Earth up ahead to Aiken. Back to Earth. Ooh, almost loses it off her fingertips. Back to Aiken inside. Shot no good. And it's Kostyal-Larrier the other way. Bounce pass inside to McRae. Inside out to Idir. Straight on three. Shot no good. Too strong. And they're going to say it went off Kostyal-Larrier last, and it'll go back to the Cardinals. Ball knocked out. Lopez now quickly the other way, going right to left. Has a 2-on-1, maybe a 3-on-1 even. Over to Kostyal-Larrier. Can't finish. And Kostyal-Larrier on the rebound. Now it's check that. Mitchell on the offensive glass. Outside to Idir. Gives it up to Lopez on the Bearcat symbol. Back over to Idir here on the near side. Inside out. Over to inside to Lopez, and it's McRae who's able to finish. Nice find there by Brianna Lopez.
24.
So Earth, awkward looking three off glass, no good. Now Foy on the offensive glass, high arcing shot, no good. And Idir pulls down the rebound. Good box out there as Foy was all over her. Now over to Kostyal-Larrier, now to Idir on the trail. Idir knocks that one down, splashes nothing but the bottom of the net. That gives Idir 12. Aiken hobbling, that's Hooks hobbling up the floor here over to Aiken inside. Adams inside out. Aiken jab step, crossover move, pull up from the 3, no good. Mitchell battling underneath with Foy for the rebound, and Idir to bring it into the front court. Kostyal-Larrier, line drive 3 from the far side is good. She's got her first 30-point game as a Bearcat. Don't forget, second game of your senior night Bearcat Appreciation Night doubleheader starts at 7:30 with pregame festivities acknowledging our seniors, as now it's over to Aiken inside to Earth. She's fouled on the way through and will go to the line to shoot a chance at a three-point play. Foul there is going to be on number 10, Mitchell.
The basket for York, the foul is on number 10, Precious Mitchell, her second. One shot for beautiful Earth. Three-point play for number 10, beautiful Earth.
Lopez over to Kostyal-Larrier, deep 2, shot no good. Clouden on the rebound, up ahead to Aiken. York can push, they got numbers, over to Earth inside. Awkward looking layup, but able to get it in off the glass. Idir underneath to McRae. Good find there as York College let Idir get all the way to the basket before handing it off to McRae for the easy 2. Baruch leads 68-29, their biggest lead of the season, as it's Aikens on the far side here for York. Inside to Earth, handoff to Foy, mid-range jumper from Foy off left iron, no good. Ball still loose. Earth over to Aiken. Aiken pull up 3 off front iron. Now Lopez over to Idir, lets a Foy fly by. 3. Shot no good to Kostyal-Larrier on the rebound. However, Idir gets stripped by Foy. Aaron shot there. Aiken, offensive rebound, can't get the putback to go, and the second opportunity finally drops. So Lopez trying to find McRae. Aiken ahead of the pack here. Should have an easy layup as McRae chases her down as Aiken hits the deck hard. Aiken still on the floor. She might have hit her head.
That was at number 12, D'Andre McRae. McRae is good. Lola Idir, Lillianna Morales, Madison Lewis check in the Bearcats lineup.
So a few changes here as Morales, Thornton Lewis, and DeLuca enter the game. Aiken at the line to shoot 2. And Aiken 2 of 2 from the line. Inside out, now Thornton Lewis trying to get it inside to Morales. However, Earth comes away with the steal. Earth right into the lane and gets her floater to finally drop. Baruch leads 68-35, coming in on 3 minutes remaining here in the third. Lopez over to Thornton Lewis. Ball swung around the perimeter. DeLuca, she takes too many steps, and it's going to go back to York.
David, glad to be back. My apologies. I understand that the broadcast stopped toward the end of about a minute before the first half ending, and I had to do a few little remedying of the situation. I think we should be okay now, but glad all you are probably able to find on by going on Baruch Bearcats broadcast. You'll see, if you're watching this, you obviously know that we set up a second league called Second Half. Technology. Can't live with it, can't live without it.
So Lopez has it. Coach Catrozos wants her to push the tempo. She goes past Earth, looking for options. Inside to DeLuca. Has the cutter in Kostyal-Larrier. However, Foy able to intercept that. Now up ahead to Earth. Mid-range jumper, no good, and DeLuca comes down with the rebound. Once again, pushing the tempo here for the Bearcats. DeLuca right into the lane, over to Morales, inside out. Kostyal-Larrier, the trailer, wide open from three. Shot just a bit too strong, and it's Foy on the rebound here for York.
Yeah, Bearcats off to a nice start. I see Isabella with 30 points, career high.
Three there by Aiken, no good. Rebounded on the offensive board. They're going to call it on the floor as Earth was fouled. Let's see who they got on the foul there. The foul there is going to be number 1, Morales.
Lillianna Morales. Now his first personal foul, the Bearcats' 13th foul. Number 14, Lola Idir. Replaces number 34, Isabella Kostyal-Larrier.
Inbound to Hooks. Hooks mid-range jumper right off the glass and able to finally get that one to find a home as it went all the way around the rim. Now Lopez into the front court. Give it over to Thornton Lewis. Over to DeLuca. DeLuca puts it on the floor. Now to Thornton Lewis. Straight on three. Actually, sorry, right wing three. Either way, off left, right iron. No good. Earth chases down that rebound up the head to Aiken. Aiken looking for options, and she takes too many steps. And it's going to go back to the Bearcats.
David, let's just take a quick minute to talk about our second game of the doubleheader tonight. We're going to start off honoring 3 players. And then, of course, we got a big game with significant implications for the playoffs. Bearcats now at 70 points with a minute and a half left here in the third period.
Coincidentally, both of the Bearcats' leading scorers for both the men and the Lillianna Morales and Isabella Kostyal-Larrier, both one-year players here for the Bearcats. So it's a 28-point game. York slowly chipping away. 3 there by Idir, and just like that, extends it back to 31.
She has such a nice stroke. She does, her follow-through is just fantastic fundamental.
Before Idir knocked down that 3, York answered with an 18-4 run of their own as the ball goes off the hands of Clouden and back to the Bearcats. Floater, no good. Ball batted around. Baruch were pushing for the 2-for-1. Now Aiken comes the other way with it. Aiken high, arcing 3, and she knocks that one down. Well, and Aiken's got 20.
Yeah, well, I mean, what York's going to try to do now is, even though the score's out of control, they're going to try to find some momentum. And they're going to try to walk away from this game feeling good about what they did in the second half. Never a good sight to see anybody down.
So it'll be York to inbound, and they can now hold for the final shot. As it's hurt over to Aiken. Aiken has the look. We'll pull the 3. High arcing shot, no good. Thornton Lewis up ahead to DeLuca. Has numbers here. Morales, good job there, getting down the floor and able to lay it in. Good find there by DeLuca.
That's the type of play we need to see a lot more of.
As the half-court heave from Aiken is no good. And Baruch going into the third quarter break up 30, 75-45. It's Bearcat Appreciation Day on YouTube channel Baruch Bearcats Broadcasting.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's been a good 3 quarters. We just got to keep it up.
So it'll be Bearcats ball to start the second half. Lopez, Kostyal-Larrier, Mitchell, McRae, and Morales on the floor. Morales picks up her dribble, gives it over to Kostyal-Larrier. Shot too short. McRae on the offensive glass. Her shot was blocked. I think it was by Adams last, so it'll stay right there for Baruch.
I think what Coach K is going to want to see in these final 9.5 minutes is just defense, players making their shots, specifically their layups, and cut down the turnovers.
Mid-range jumper there from Mitchell, no good. Inside out, now to Adams, looking for options. Straight on is Hooks, over to Aiken. Aiken going to pull the three. Kostyal-Larrier on the rebound. Her 7th rebound, go along with her 30 points and 4 steals.
She needs to channel her Mia Castillo, and let's try to get a double-double tonight.
Lopez into Morales, gives it over to Kostyal-Larrier. Ball on the floor still. Inside out. Pull-up jumper, fouled there on Morales. That'll send Morales to the line to shoot 2 with a little bit more than a minute gone here in the fourth.
Yeah, Lillianna is only a sophomore, but you feel like she's already a senior. She's a terrific rebounder, can really steal the ball. She just needs to protect the ball. But, again, when you start looking toward the future, she's still around. Lola's still around, so it's good. It's good. But want to finish the season strong and go into the playoffs on the right fashion.
And it's going to go off McRae last and back to the Bearcats. The Cardinals. (76-47). Baruch leads. Ooh, Lopez almost turned that one over there. Lopez into the lane. And it's got to be rough on these Cardinals here, John. I mean, you're really playing with one person available on the bench. It's a lot of tired legs out there.
Well, there's 2 ways of looking at it. One, if you want to play, you're going to play a lot here with this team. You know you're going to be on the court the whole time. You just got to watch that you don't get into foul trouble. On the other hand, though, it limits the choices for the coach. And that's the downside of it. It's very difficult to recruit sometimes in CUNY, David, because a lot of kids want to go away to school. They don't want to necessarily stay home. Sometimes we'll be very fortunate to get kids that decide to come back to New York City, and they may have not had the greatest experience going away. But a lot of kids in the city want to go away. They want to go upstate, to go to a state school, get a, decent tuition,
I think that's also the benefit of Baruch College, as Kostyal-Larrier knocks down the mid-range jumper, is you are in Manhattan, right? So you have the opportunities here. I think, I'm not saying York is that far away in Jamaica, Queens, but a lot of their recruiting comes specifically from the borough of Queens or Brooklyn.
Yeah, there's if you're listening and you want to play college basketball, and you've had like a very good college career, there are a lot of opportunities in CUNY. I always tell people, I get DMs on Instagram and emails, and I always say to the players, don't try, but just also realize there's a commitment involved. You're going to be practicing several days a week. You're going to be traveling for games. Occasionally you're going to take a nice little trip out of state. So it's not as easy as just, it's not a club that only meets, twice a week. But
that's the baseline, John. If you look at what the men have done over the last few years, obviously under our former coach Alisi, and obviously Coach Free trying to build off that, you were almost not guaranteed an NCAA berth, but I would say the last, 3 out of the last 4 years we've been to the tournament. So have an opportunity to play some postseason ball. And even if you don't get to the NCAA, the ECAC or whatever, one of those other
ECAC,
postseason tournaments that you get that's more regional versus just, playing in the CUNYAC.
Well, we want to do that. We want to let these kids, another shot by York. Yeah, I mean, there's always chances to play. And I think if you had a good college, high school career, there's a very good chance for you to play in CUNY. But, yeah, you get a chance to play for a championship. The NCAA tournament is really what everybody wants. You want to get that medal. You want to participate in it. And let me tell you, when you go to the NCAA sometimes, it is a real awakening. It always amazes me sometimes, some schools pretty much field 2 teams. And that always blows my mind away. What do we got, timeout?
Coach Howell wants to talk things over. So with 6:49 remaining, Baruch will lead by 31. Maybe just a breather here for the Cardinals. You're watching Baruch Appreciation Night here on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats Broadcasting.
Yeah, I want to give everyone a history about what we call Bearcats Appreciation Night, Baruch. So, CUNY has a lot of transfers. We have a certain number of kids that don't necessarily play all 4 years. So if you call it senior night, in some cases, athletically speaking, it's not really a senior. And we used to always debate this in the office. And we said, you know what? It was actually Heather, our AD, that came up with the idea, if I recall, and said, we should do Bearcats Appreciation Night. Regardless if this is your final season, we will honor you on Bearcat Appreciation Night. And I thought that was a really good idea. And you're seeing it tonight with players like, Isabella Kostyal-Larrier, who's just coming out and playing like it almost is our last home game, even though it probably won't be. And it's tough to see players. There's probably nothing more disappointing for a player than to know that this is your final few games, and that's why sometimes players do their best and score their best when they get down at the end of the season because they know that window is closing. Fortunately, at Division III, there aren't many kids playing a 7th or 8th year, with everything that's going on with Division I. Bearcats with 82 points, one of their highest outputs of the season.
So Aaron passed there by Hooks. And it's going to be Mitchell who comes away with the steal up ahead to Lopez. Lopez 9 assists tonight, really facilitating here for the Bearcats as Morales knocks down the mid-range. She's in the double figures, the 4th Bearcat to do so.
I believe that's a career high for her in assists.
McRae also a rebound away from a double-double, which is
pretty normal for her.
I was going to say, nothing out of the ordinary there as Aiken knocks down the mid-range jumper.
Well, I'll tell you, if you're York, you're not happy with the score, but this second half, this 3rd and 4th period, they are putting the ball in the basket. There are some positives.
And it goes out of bounds back to the Cardinals.
Yeah, we actually started this game, obviously, a little bit later because of Bearcats Appreciation Night. But it's been moving really fast. I mean, we're probably going to finish right around the time we would have finished if we didn't have a pregame ceremony.
So Aiken dribble through, move around and down.
Yeah, they're trying to hit their shots. I think if you're York's coach, you're very, you're feeling very good right now about what you're seeing. Yeah, it looks like they're going to clear the bench here, the Bearcats, in the last 5 minutes.
As Mitchell and Foy get tied up, and both ladies hit the deck.
Number 0, Lola Idir, number 34. Isabella Kostyal-Larrier, number 33, Madison Lewis, number 21, Sophia Forte, and number 24, Mandy Lynn.
I was saying before, David, that, when you start talking about the postseason, you need, you want your star players to do well, but it's also important that some of the players off the bench contribute. And this is an opportunity now for these players that are on the court to kind of show Coach K that, hey, I think, I'm worthy of some more minutes, and let me show you why. Because, like I said, once we start getting to the end of the season, you're going to need it. I mean, this win pretty much clinches that we will be in the playoffs. The question now is, where are we going to finish?
With 2 tough games, Lehman and City College still to come. We've actually lost at home against Lehman and beat City College here at the York Arena. So,
well, I got to give a shout-out to Eric Harrison at Lehman. I know a few years ago the team was down, but they have really come back this year. They beat Hunter. I know Hunter was, maybe missing a good player, but they are certainly a team to reckon with. Brooklyn, of course, ever since Alex Lang retired, they have not missed a beat. They've done a great job, their coaching staff. John Jay, obviously they've been in the championship a few times. They're going to be very competitive. I would definitely say, as someone who's been here for a number of years, that CUNY basketball has got a lot more competition than it did maybe 10, 15 years ago.
And to your point, John, Baruch right now 2 games back with 3 to play. I think we could start chalking this one up as a W, but really need John Jay to drop some games here in the final just to get that. They'll make the playoffs, as you mentioned, but to get that home court playoff game.
Well, that's what they're playing for right now. You make it to the playoffs, that's good, but you obviously wish you could do it on your home court.
Inside out, Idir, free throw line jumper, and she gets that one to go.
Yeah, Lola was a great player on Long Island basketball. She did a very nice job.
And DeLuca intercepts that pass from Hooks.
Yeah.
Some end-to-end action here. A couple missed shots, though. Now inside to DeLuca, looking for an option. Gives it over to Lynn. Back to DeLuca. Good find. She saves that from going out of bounds. Forte couldn't grab the loose ball. Now Earth the other way. Earth coast to coast and lays it in.
Yeah, and that was a convincing layup, too. She powered it to the basket, drew the foul, and as a result, they got some points. How many points did they have in the first half, York? They've had a pretty good second half from what I've seen.
Only 19 points in the first half.
Yeah, so they've managed to score, 35 in the second. But, yeah, like I was saying, there's definitely, in my opinion, more better basketball and you have the 2 teams that are probably ahead of the pack right now in terms of Hunter and, of course, Brooklyn. But to be fair, I mean, Lehman is having a very good year. John Jay is always in the thick of it. We're going to be in the thick of it. And you can't really, any of these other teams, if you're not playing good on one night, they'll surprise you.
No easy nights here in the CUNYAC, as mid-range jumper from Forte is good.
And then, of course, our league is going to be growing and rebranding. I'm already aware of one team that's going to be coming in about 2 years. I wish I could say it, David, but I got to keep my professionalism. The CUNY League, in case you didn't know, will be rebranding to a new name. New Jersey City was supposed to come, but that is no longer the case. But we've got another school in the works, and that'll be fun to see some new blood coming into the league. I think it'll really make Division III basketball in New York City more exciting.
Idir hits the deck. Cross-court pass from DeLuca to Forte. Her shot blocked by Adams on the far side.
Yeah, and she shouldn't be worried about doing that again. Keep trying, keep going to the basket, and keep playing ball.
So it's going to be a 30-second timeout for Coach Howells. He wants to talk things over.
Yeah, so this is a feel-good win, 90 points. Let's check the schedule. Is this our highest this season? It's got to be close. I mean, what do we have? We had a bunch of 70-point games. We had an 82, 72, 76, 82, 77. So yeah, this is easily the highest scoring game for the Bearcats this season. And, of course, the next game is going to be really very important for the playoffs. Carla Mango at Baruch along. I remember when Carl was playing here for Ray Rankus. He was the point guard on our team that got an at-large berth to the NCAA tournament. And we always wish Carl the best. Not tonight, I'm sorry to say, to York and all the boys. Not tonight, but obviously we wish always the best when a Baruch alum goes on to do other great things. I mean, second in the CUNY League, let me tell you, that is not easy to do.
A late whistle there. Let's see who that's on. Thornton Lewis. Correction, that's going to be on Idir. And that's going to send Earth to the line to shoot 2.
And of course, we're managed by our own alum, of course, Tamara Fareed. And I have to say, I'm feeling old because I remember when both of them played. You know, Tamara was a 1,000-point scorer for us. Also went to the NCAA tournament at large. I remember very well. Actually, that's the one thing about the coaches that we could say with the Baruch connection is they both were on a team that both got at-large bids to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah,
by the way, very rare.
Both a little bit before my time.
Yeah, very rare. I don't know if that would happen in today's basketball.
To get the at-large bid for a CUNY
Yeah, it's
team?
very, very hard. One year we worked it out. We beat St. Mary's of Maryland. We beat William Patterson. And those happened to be 2 teams that were in the mix with us for the at-large. And, you know, when you put them up on the board, we beat them both, and that was our ticket. Oh, she just got hit in the face, Lola.
Aiken from just inside the free throw line, no good. However, she rips it away from Thornton and able to lay it in.
Well, if you're York's coach, you have to be happy that the players are not slowing down. If anything, I think they're playing harder than they did at the beginning of the game.
DeLuca hits the deck hard.
Yeah, Lola's had it tough. I think she got hit with the face, and then she just fell to the ground now.
Cross-court pass over to Thornton Lewis. That one's way short. We are in the final minute of action here in the first game of Bearcat Appreciation Night. Aiken crossover move, step back jumper, no good. And Foy able to get the rebound, lay it in, and one.
Yeah, well, like I said, I think if you were York, you wanted to find a bright spot. I think the second half effort and the fact that they're closely scoring close to 40 points in the second half, despite most of the game being down by 30, I think if you're the coach at York, you have to feel really good about how your girls responded in the second half.
This game really came down to the end of the first quarter into the second quarter where, because you could even argue Baruch ended the first half on a 1 of 11 from the field, so kind of struggled there too, and it was just that moment where Baruch set up in the full court press and York had no answers.
Well, when you score 34 points in a row, you're usually going to win. 35 seconds left.
Adams on the rebound. Ooh, almost a dangerous pass there. Earth almost loses it. Can't finish off rim. High off the glass and lays it in.
Yeah, she's had a lot of those baskets tonight. She's been at the right place at the right time. Bearcats, I think they try to finish it off here with a good possession.
And that should do it here for the first game behind a career-high 30 points from Isabella Kostyal-Larrier. Baruch going to win 90-64.
I think they updated 66.
Check that, 66, and it's 32 points for Kostyal-Larrier. And then a big win for the Bearcats here on Bearcat Appreciation Night as they go into the final 2 games of the season looking to clinch not only a playoff spot, but also on the outside looking in for a home court berth here in the playoffs.
Yeah, the schedule this year kind of works against us with the fact that we're going to be on the road these last 2 games, but that's okay. You know, the truth is we've played some really good games away from this Arc Arena, so it's a feel-good win. I think you go home tonight, you take a deep breath. You know, and then tomorrow you start thinking about Lehman because that is going to be a massive game playing at the Apex. By the way, beautiful. I don't know if you've ever seen their gym. Very nice gym. They got those rims. They don't come out of the ceiling. They come out from the ground like you see at one of those big arenas. And like I said, the women's game is going to be great. The men's game is going to be great. I think, you know, CUNY basketball, you know, there are those that probably don't get excited about it. But if you like basketball, This is a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun because there's still a lot of question marks about the playoffs, and that just kind of shows you in this league we're not dominated by one or two teams.
And a big night for our seniors as well. Kostyal-Larrier, 32 points, 7 rebounds, 4 steals. D'Andre McRae, 1 rebound shy of a double-double, 14 and 9. Hate to see that.
She's done that a lot, by the way. I could tell you in her career, if I could research it, she's had like double-doubles or near double-doubles where she's fell 1 rebound short like at least 6 or 7 times.
Brianna Lopez, 7 points, 10 assists.
That's got to be a career high.
And finally, Precious Mitchell, only 2 points, added 7 rebounds and 4 steals, so really doing it on the defensive end. All around, a big win for the Bearcats to kick off Bearcat Appreciation Night. We'll step aside. The men's game will be at about 7:40. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats Broadcasting.